This week I went to see Chris Murphy, my senator from Connecticut, speak.
I really appreciate the chance to come by and talk to you this evening and to introduce a film that I haven't seen and I won't watch tonight.
He spoke a lot about gun control. It's kind of been his thing.
Levels of PTSD in our cities amongst children rival that of returning soldiers from Iraq and Afghanistan. So it's no coincidence that in our schools, in those neighborhoods, those violent neighborhoods, kids' test scores are way down here.
As a person from Connecticut and somebody who has kind of seen this guy in passing, it was kind of cool to see him doing something that I respected on the national stage.
We have a gun violence rate that is 20 times the rate of the average industrialized nation. In our DNA, we are not a more violent people. You can't explain it by mental illness. We don't have any more mental illness in the United States than other countries do. What we have is a celebratory culture of guns.
Like any person from Connecticut should, I admire Senator Murphy. He's a great speaker. He's got a real passion, and just listening to him speak, made me feel proud to be from Connecticut. But I think that it's important to remember the reason that he's so impassioned about it is because we had this horrible thing happen to us. And there's nothing like a tragedy to motivate somebody to try to make real change.
And I go around speaking to any group that is willing to listen about the need to a call to action, not just for the victims in Sandy Hook, but for all of those kids who live in Washington, D.C., whose brain chemistry has been changed by the violence of their neighborhood. That's a scope of millions, not just the thousands that get killed by guns every year.
Now, when I lived in Connecticut, I lived in a small town about 15 minutes from Newtown, which means I knew the landscape really, really well. I had been to Newtown a lot. So when I got to go see Senator Murphy speak on the 31st, I have that personal experience with that place. And that's what made the documentary so much more powerful. And there were a lot of tears in the room. I kept looking around just to gauge the atmosphere in the room. People were crying. I don't think we had anybody leave, but I wouldn't be surprised if anybody did. And once the screening ended, everyone just kind of didn't really know where to go. It was just very quiet. We all sat in silence for a little bit. Nobody wanted to get up. Nobody wanted to leave. Some of the heads of AU Dems came up and thanked us for being there. And then everyone just kind of shuffled out. And it was very quiet. It was like a funeral. I think if you're going to take anything away from the experience of watching this documentary, it's that, you need to be involved. The only way that we're going to have any semblance of justice for the people that lost their lives, the kids that lost their lives in December 2012, is to get out there and be active. You have to get involved, and you have to be passionate, and you got to make the change happen. And I think that's an important lesson. And the only way that these people in Congress are going to understand that change needs to happen, save for having it happen to them, as Senator Murphy did, is for enough people to get together and say, we need this to change. We are affected, and we know what the change has to be.